Well, welcome back to the recaps. We had Thanksgiving, so there's some time off there. And then Monday, editor Andrew had a birthday, which is super fun. So wish him a happy birthday in the comments. But we're back today. The streams are obviously on the main channel, Trades by Matt. I'm trading my 20, 50K Apex funded accounts. And today was pretty rangy, choppy action. A lot of, well, 3 trades or so. So not a lot of trades, but definitely took some trades. We're going to go and recap those right now. Apex is 90% off until midnight tonight. So you have until midnight before it goes back to the regular discounts. Code TBM will always get you the best available discount. You just put it into the coupon section. So code TBM for 90% off right now on all Apex accounts. It's still 1 day to pass, etc. So let's go and dive into today's recap. Yo, good morning. What's up? Hope you're ready for a good day. I saw Gary just post about it in the Discord, and it's spot on. This is like kind of one of the last normal-ish weeks of the year. Rollover is 12/16, which is the Monday, which means next week, really like later half of next week is rollover. 11, 12, 13th, really 12 and 13 is going to be, you know, the true switch, but it always gets a little weird. 10, 11. Talking about December 10th and 11th. So we have like normal week this week, rollover next week, new contracts, and then Christmas. So it's we're on the final stretch here, gentlemen and lady. Let's feel like it's going by quick. Today we've got Jolts at 9 o'clock. That should give us a little bit of movement. Jolts at 9. Tomorrow we've got ISM at 9, PMI at 8:45, factor orders at 9. Thursday, we've got trade balance and initial jobless claims. So yeah, we got a lot going on still this week. Markets are open. Sorry, I was texting my dad. Markets are open. We are sweeping the overnight lows as we speak. We got VWAP at 21,200. Yesterday's value area high at 240. Value area low from yesterday down at 165, excuse me. Putting in some volume here at the overnight lows, still flushing. Everything is suggesting a little downward move. If we can get back above 180, then you think VWAP and, you know, maybe yesterday's point in control, 2115. Excuse me, 215 or so. 215 or so. But we'll see. We got blocks down below at 110. That's what the daily looks like. We got this untested wick on the daily. That definitely is an interesting spot in my opinion. What is that at? 2180s, 2190 or so. So definitely want to keep a lookout on that if we continue to flush. Especially if we flush like this 2110 block. We got news at 9. I always wait the first 15 minutes to get green lighted to trade. So looking out below, down at 2180, 2190 off that untested daily wick. If we push above, you know, 2180, 21180 here, looking at VWAP and maybe yesterday's point of control. So that's kind of the things I'm looking at. In the meantime, though, if we don't get to either one of those spots, hopefully we can figure out if it's going to be choppy or you can get a nice little trend or something going. Play it accordingly. Looking for base hits. Want to be patient. And yeah, let's have a good day. Be smart, be patient, everybody. Don't be greedy. Let's have a good one. South Korea, the current president has declared martial law. Is that real? Oh, yeah, actually, it is done. South Korea President Yoon declares martial law 50 minutes ago. South Korean President Yoon on Tuesday declared martial law in an unannounced late-night address broadcast live on television, claiming he would eradicate shameless pro-North Korean anti-state forces. He did not cite any specific threat, however, instead is focusing on domestic political opponents. I don't know if it's a good thing, then great. If it's not a good thing, then I'm sorry to hear that. Honestly, I have a hard time understanding if that's good or bad right off the bat. But it doesn't sound good. I would say that's normally kind of feels like if it's undeclared enemies, which is kind of what I just read, it seems like that's normally like a power grab, no? Probably a power grab. Yeah, that's kind of what I was just thinking too. Anytime you have undeclared enemies, it basically just green lights you into whatever you want it to be, which is usually a very scary situation. 5 years ago today, a man in Wuhan fell ill. Really? 5 years ago from the start of COVID already? It's insane. All right, rejecting VWAP so far, chat. We're 7 minutes into the session. I got 7 minutes to go till I'm green lighted to trade. We're just watching to see how the price action unfolds. Coming into yesterday's value area low. Rejecting VWAP on the first test. That's a good thing. I think if we go back up there, we pop it. But I personally want to see us rotate into that 90s area. I like that 90 untested daily wick spot. Seems a little interesting to me, to be honest. All right, chat, 30 seconds. Look alive on news. You can watch and see. We'll watch and see if the DOM opens up a little bit. If we lose some orders and the spread gets bigger, you expect bigger move. It keeps pretty tight. Usually, move's not too crazy. As of right now, pretty tight still. All right, there's news, chat. It's opened up pretty decent there. Like a 2-point spread or something. Getting tighter already. We got liquidity higher. I imagine we push through that, but we'll see. Hanging out at 200 psych level. I think NQ was a little sleepy around VWAP for news, and now that we're done with it, the push into 220 here looks pretty nice. You got liquidity up through 2140. Yesterday's value area high and the overnight highs. That looks decent too. And it's lit. GG's, chat. All right, this is off of yesterday's conversation. December 3rd, Tuesday. Who's ready for some market movement? We should get some good movement after the dad joke here. December 3rd, Tuesday. What kind of egg did the evil chicken lay? A deviled egg. We were talking about deviled eggs yesterday. In fact, I think someone actually literally wrote this joke out in the chat yesterday. 2 out of 10. Dude, you're just upset that you didn't get to read it during Thanksgiving. That's one that you keep in your back pocket for holidays. Deviled eggs, I feel like, are very much a holiday food, at least here in Texas. I'll be keeping that one around for Christmas. All right, chat. Julia, my wife, was texting me about the Forbes 30 for 30 just came in. And she's like, dang, you missed it. You're not on it. And I was like, I don't want to be on it. There's a curse. Chat, did y'all know that there's a 30 for 30 curse? 30 for 30 equals going to jail. Exactly. Yeah, most of them go to jail. 30 for 30 does a great job of detecting pre-crime. Yeah, it's like the Madden curse, honestly. Very similar vibes. You get put on the front cover of Madden, you're destined to have a bad season. I don't know why. I think she was asking me the same thing. There's some article on The Guardian that allegedly kind of goes into it, but basically, my take on it is that the Forbes 30 for 30 people are typically pretty big risk takers for the most part. In order to, a lot of times big impact comes with big risk. And I think a lot of times those people just get too in on the impact side and start taking risks that are not above the law. You know what I mean? Or not within the law. 30 under 30, not 30 for 30. Right. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of the Sports Center 30 for 30 or ESPN's 30 for 30. 30 under 30, correct. So this girl, she had like extreme fraud, I believe, or something like that. Those numbers have been a teeny bit exaggerated. So we had her. She went to jail, I believe, or got in big trouble. Sam, SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, or Fried, however you say it. He got fried. However you say his name. He's obviously a FTX. He got put in jail for fraud. Oh, there's more. There's way more than those two girls. I don't think they did a good job with that article. Someone just recently got snapped. Like maybe a week or two ago. Here comes VWAP. Oh yeah, this is the most recent one, right? I think this one is very recent. Joanna Smith Griffin. So she claimed they made 3.7 million, but really they made 400,000 or something. Oh gosh, aggravated identity theft. That doesn't sound like a good idea. Rounding error, right? Yeah, and then this is what we were just talking about. Let me find the Enron situation. I literally cannot believe they're back. It feels fake, but I think it's them. But it feels fake. I don't know. This is Enron. Enron Corporation announces relaunch with a vision to solve global energy crisis. But they're like hinting at essentially, I mean, it's Enron.com. I don't know. They're hinting at like a coin or something with crypto. Community note on Twitter said it was fake. Buyers don't really look that great. Looking a little rolly. I was thinking it was looking a little rolly earlier and we pushed out of it. So I don't know. I'm really at a 50-50 coin toss here. And I really want the rotation like 110 points lower into 90 off that daily level. I just don't know if it's going to happen today. Okay. It's looking rolly for sure. It just, is it going to do it? I want us to snap this 85 level. Okay. What'd I say? We snap 85 or whatever this is. We snap the wicks and it makes the move just instant. That was only 10 points, to be fair. Yesterday's value area low kind of came up a little, or value area low came up a little bit. I thought we were down at like 65, yesterday's value area low. Either way, we make the nice sweep. If we get back above 88, I think the rotation back up into VWAP and 200s and 220s is pretty likely. But if we can stay below it, I think it's looking decent. We're back above though. Without too many sellers here. I'm gonna be patient here. It's like our first kind of nice move of the day. I don't know which way it's gonna stay, so I'm not gonna jump into it yet. Why not enter now if you already know it's going down? Well, because there's a lot of shakeouts still. Just because I enter here doesn't mean we don't pump 200 or 210 and then make the move, right? I want it to be clean. This is like a pretty congested spot. All of the stuff around VWAP is pretty congested. Just because I think it's going down doesn't mean it's going to go down. And if I don't know for sure, I want the risk to be good. And I just don't think, like, if I'm going to enter short here, where do I put my stop? Where does it make sense to put my stop? I don't really know, which means I shouldn't get in. I don't really know what the risk should look like here if I'm entering on volume at the bottom of the current day range. And I think if we're going to push it, like, you know, the 80... Honestly, the bottom of this little range is a pretty decent spot, but like, again, how do you... Is it off new lows? And you have to really like the longs to be getting that, in my opinion. And I don't really like the longs right now. I think it looks questionable. Little retest of VWAP's decent, but... Wick test at 200. It's not really a wick test. I wouldn't even really call it an untested wick. But it is a somewhat of a better spot to get in at. Because you can have it flip green, right? So it's like... I think I'm okay with putting this on. Like, I'd be risking 7 points. The kicker is that it's just right around VWAP still. And I wouldn't have even gotten filled, so. I don't hate that. On an intra-candle play, we might still test it on this next candle in a minute and a half. We might still test it. Like, that doesn't look terrible if it's following both of the little 22 range trends here. But again, the kicker to me being is that it's just, we're hanging out at VWAP, and I just don't know. I don't really want to be putting that on. I don't think it really makes sense. It's decent risk, but the odds of us just popping it, I think, are really high. I'd rather wait for something a little cleaner that's not in the middle of a range. That's like the other big piece. Like a trade like this, I don't mind taking this type of setup if it's been just like melting all day. You know what I mean? Or if it's grinding up all day. Taking this very tight sort of trade is fine if we're like very much in a downward trend kind of style, but this is like literally in the middle of a range. 200 is pretty much the middle of the range right now. From 190 to 210, 200 is the middle. With like little sweeps both ways. And I don't want to take that. Diddle in the middle, right? Here's the one standard deviation. Get yesterday's value area low at 65 or 66 or whatever that is. We're inside the 5-minute opening range. I don't know where the 1-minute opening range is. It's here. At yesterday's value area low. It's definitely an interesting spot. It's just, is it right to be fading it or not? Everything is still definitely getting a bid, catching a bid. Would look like this. And like another test here where it kind of makes sense to like potentially get short at point of control, right where we just rejected off of, where you can like have a stop above VWAP. Honestly, it just feels I don't know, I'm trying not to say feel over and over again, but it just doesn't feel like something I should be taking, so I'm not going to take it. I've been burned too many times, I guess is a better way to say that. I've been burned way too many times trying to play what ends up being a range like this. Just work the zone. That's a classic saying for, or that's what me and Gary always say for people that just average in over and over again into oblivion. But I was working the zone. I'd rather not work the zone and just wait. I'd rather wait. I'd rather... You're working zones, you're at risk, right? If you're waiting and you're not in a trade, you are not at risk. And not being at risk is a big part of trading. Risk is trading, right? Trading is risk. Anytime you're exposed to the market in any capacity, you're exposing your risk, whether it's defined or undefined. You have stops, you don't have stops. You enter a trade, you're at risk. You're not in a trade, you're not at risk. So I try and stay risk off until I really like something, and then when I go risk on, right? Oh, we bounced off the +1, or the -1 standard deviation, excuse me, off the 22 range. 1 standard deviation off VWAP was our bounce point so far. Still hanging out at psych level, just right above VWAP. VWAP's going literally flat right now, which is kind of a bummer. Get away with a 10-point stop here off new lows. Don't know if it's the best play or not. It would look like this. Off value area low or so. Watch the red line algo. It's at least interesting. It's the bottom of the current defined range, right? But starting to see a little bit of sellers, nothing crazy. I'm gonna leave this up if I get filled. It'll be risking 7 points, 7.5 points of risk. Did you try micros? A little bit, but not much. Micros were introduced after I started trading futures. And so I was already locked in on minis and how to play minis. And whenever I get into micros, it really makes me start wanting to play zones more. And I don't like doing that. I'm not good at it. It's not my favorite way of trading. I really don't like it as a style of trading, to be perfectly honest. So I don't really play with micros. I started before they were even a concept, and I just prefer to be in and out of a mini. But it's really just personal preference. There's obviously times where it makes sense on like dollars in your account, etc., where it makes sense to trade micros probably, but we got juiced lower. It's a little concerning through 170. Delta's trying to hold up a little bit though. I'm gonna keep it on for now. This liquidity is a little concerning, but I'm gonna leave it open. 7 points of risk. Buying the bottom of the range. Value area low on the session. Got 2 red candles in a row. Delta's getting a little heavy. There's the 1 standard deviation. That's where we bounced off last time. That ran up like 80 points in the money, or $80, 80 points, $80 in the money, 4 points or so. Down like 3 points. I think I get stopped out here. I'm gonna go ahead and move it break even. I think if we go back lower, I'm gonna get stopped out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move it break even. Got a convenient fill there actually. Up $10, but I just don't like it. It's too slow for me. Feels choppy. It feels like if we rotate it back to these lows at 72, I get swept. So I saved myself the $150. Just not doing what I wanted to do. I think it still might. It looks like it's gonna try, but it's just too slow. Just doesn't look that good. I don't want to be in something that doesn't look good. Look, I would have gotten filled out there. Not quite. I would have missed it by a point. And would have missed it by a tick. Okay, I would have gotten filled out. That's my full 10 points there. So I would have needed to let it go down 3 points again. It's the bottom of the range. So I guess, I mean, it's just so hard for me to trade ranges like this, where it's so slow. And like this candle, in my opinion, could have easily swept it downside too. Well, I just don't have the patience for it. On to the next. Try and find something I feel a little better about, have a little bit more conviction on. Conviction wasn't there. Like that 66 area is pretty interesting. I imagine we sweep it, right? It's the 1 minute opening range, right? At 66, yeah, yesterday's value area low. And 1 minute opening range, 66. It's honestly an interesting spot. I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick stab at it off of the 1 minute opening range high. I'm gonna also go ahead and move that break even because I'm up 5 points. So we'll see if we get the continuation. If we don't, then I get stopped out and it's fine. And we probably collapse pretty hard, I would imagine, off of the 1 minute opening range high. But it's a spot that I think is worth trying at. So I get stopped out here. Worth trying. I got a favorable stop again. Got marketed out right where I had it at. So 2 ticks again. So I'm up a point on this session. 1 point. Two trades, 1 point. Worth a try. I mean, it was a quick 5 points. Thought we'd get the quick rotation to 80 actually, but might still happen after this retest of 72. I will say my mental capital is high. I think that is able to be seen by quick execution still. Not overthinking it. It's just like we didn't get the follow through I wanted there. I like the level though. Yesterday's value area low, 1 minute opening range high. Baby sweep of the prior low. It's all worth it there for the quick trade. But I feel like this is the type of environment where I should be greedy with the break evens, just because we have been getting these random, like the random surge, right? And I don't want to get stopped out on the random surge if we're not getting volatility, good volatility for me. So I'm happy with the break evens. There's a full trade. It would have executed, and that's fine. I'm leaving points on the table by moving break even. I've left 10 points on the table twice now, but I will say that I'm moving the break even up because I'm not feeling super comfortable with where I'm at. It feels like, I mean, this is definitely a little bit of a fade. The move is clearly down right now. It's a little bit of a fade, so I feel like I should be moving a break even there no matter what because I'm fading the move. I'm just not getting the full 10 points, which I think on other days, that sweep actually happens pretty often. So see what else happens. And just a reminder, if you're just tuning in, Apex is 90% off until tonight at midnight. So tonight at midnight, 90% off until then with code TBM. TBM will always get you the best. Code TBM in the coupon section when you're selecting an account will always get you the best available discount. Right now it's 1 day to pass, 90% off till midnight. Well, my buy was the right idea. This is one of those moves that you just have to laugh at. There's nothing else to do. Because like this felt nasty. Buying during this sell-off felt wrong and felt nasty. And then hindsight, you're like, Matt, you bought the low. It looks clean, right? Oh. What is that? How many orders was that, chat? Anybody? 913. I wonder how many people saw that, snap longed at the high, and are now wrecked. The block at 21,240 seems like a potential target for the breakout of IBH. I completely agree. I think 240 block gets filled. We push and clean out the overnight highs. Reject 250 maybe. I think makes a lot of sense. 15 points off IB break makes, I think, plenty of sense, but I just don't know if it's going to happen cleanly or not. And if it doesn't happen cleanly, if it's not a clean push through all of that right away, it's going to be nasty if you're trying to play the breakout, in my opinion. It needs to be very clean and aggressive, because you're probably going to get a bad fill on the break of the high. Like, you almost need to be long like here, or maybe it's like here, 26.5, be able to have a 3-point stop or something like this. Do it. Be fun. Be fun just one time. That's not fun. Yeah, I stopped out. That's it, the 3-point stop. I honestly like that idea. I think it ran up like 4 points or something. Very tight. It has to do it right away. Ended up sweeping it.